Thank you for joining us on Discussion to Action. Today we're going to be talking about the common phrase made by many women who often say things like, there are no good men out there. And we're also going to have a conversation about women of value. I'm so grateful to have the individuals that I have here with me today to add to this discussion. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. You guys ready? Let's get started. Okay, so before today, I asked a lot of different women of a lot of different nationalities and backgrounds if they either heard of the phrase, experienced the phrase, there are no good men out there, and depending on the background, the nationality, that phrase was communicated in a lot of creative ways, if you know what I mean. When you guys hear that, what is your initial reaction?
When I personally hear that, I think it's an erroneous statement based upon frustration, perhaps, of the individual, and yeah, pretty much based on frustration. There are a lot of good men out there.
Speak up a little.
I'm sorry. There are a lot of good men out there, and I believe that statement is made based upon the individual's personal frustration due to their poor choices. And so what we need to do is we need to address the mindset of the person who's making the decision. And that's no comment.
I personally don't believe that women put forth a genuine effort in comprehending and understanding who a male is telling them they are when they're doing so. I believe men always convey who they are to some degree. It's whether or not you're willing to pay attention to those cues and pick up on, okay, well, this is a behavior that will continue, but I'm hoping that it's just a mistake that he'll get rid of. And then they choose to neglect something when, no, I'm just telling you this is who I am and this is how I am. And then later on in the relationship, they have that expectation of change or growth, and it was like, well, that was never my intent to begin with. And then we get labeled as there are no good men, or you ain't. And then, and then it becomes our fault. But it was like, I've been consistent throughout this whole time. It's just now you've opened yourself up to what I've always been showing you from the beginning.
So why do you think women do that?
I feel like the ideals of what women think men are changed so frequently that they don't know what a real man is in the first place, to be quite honest. Because I feel like women have an idea of a man needs to take out the trash and do those things, but that's nothing of what makes up a man. So it's more in what you see me do instead of how I should make you feel as a woman. So instead of you paying attention to how I make you feel as a woman, you pay attention to what I do for you. But that can be replicated by your mother, your father, your friend, or anything like that. So you place importance on the wrong things. And again, I feel like to really answer that question, the reality of it is that there's just as much great men out there as there are bad men, but the great men don't get publicized. Right. That's not what's sought over. Wow. It's not there. On my perspective, I don't think women actually go after the good men because it's a reflection of where they're at in their personal lives. Yeah. Because a good man has options. And the bad man doesn't, meaning that I feel like certain women go after bad men because that bad man needs them, and they need to feel like that in certain situations. And the good man has options. So therefore, instead of telling a man he has to be a man before you're a woman, you have to be a woman just as much as you ask him to be a man at the same time. So I think that scares a lot of women off.
No, you made a very good point right there. I think that a lot of times there are a lot of women that are broken emotionally. And when a person is broken emotionally, it's really interesting because like the mind is like a magnet. It attracts to you your prevalent thought. So if you are, think about it like this, like if you're in a shark-infested water and you're bleeding, all the sharks are going to be attracted to you. It's the same thing if you're emotionally damaged, if you're emotionally unavailable, you're going to attract the no good men that came to kill, steal, and destroy, period. And so it's important for women out there to understand that you have to first be emotionally healthy. And each person's relationship pathology is different. But if your pathologies you're used to, because you saw your mother or your dad being abused or whatever growing up, and that made you drawn to a certain type of individual, you need to correct that. Because if you can't identify a good man, your life is going to be full of stress.
I would say when I hear that, I feel like it has no accountability for self.
Right.
To say out there that there's all bad men out there, and we all know you get what you attract. So at what point do we acknowledge what you are attracting to yourself instead of pointing the fault? it's like me putting my hand in fire. If I go put my hand in fire, do I blame the fire for burning me? At what point do you sit there and tell me that if I put my hand in fire that I'm going to be burnt? And if either I like being burnt, so I put my hand in the fire, or I learn to be smart enough not to put my hand in the fire. So that's what comes to mind when I hear that.
If you break down the word relationship, you have relation and you have ship. What is a ship? A ship is a vehicle that takes you somewhere. If you get in a ship that's taking you somewhere positive, that's taking you somewhere where it's uplifting you, it's giving to you, it's not a predatory or parasitical relationship. It's feeding you and giving you what you're putting in, then you're telling God that you love yourself. But when you get into a ship that is taking you down, but the sex is good, you're telling God that
Go and do it if you're going to do it. Go and do it.
you don't respect who you are. And so, you first, like you said, you first have to be honest with who you are. And you know what? If you're damaged, be honest and get help. Correct that, and you can attract the person.
So let's define what a good man is.
That's what I was
First of
just
all,
going to say.
because we keep saying a good man. You know what? And everybody has a different perspective. Every woman has a different perspective of what a good man is to them. You know. So what is the definition of a good man? Somebody that works, has a career, man of God. Work out. Knows how to treat a woman, opens the door, for a woman. These are the characteristics, that I feel I possess. But, and that's what I feel a good man is. And when women say that there's not enough good men out there, and like you said, they're attracting what they are. And when we answer the questions, we can answer to you. We don't have to look at them.
We're talking to one another.
We gotta pull one of these.
Yeah, and y'all out there better get some.
You gotta pull one of these. So yeah. So what I was saying to y'all.
You girls, you women,